Once upon a time in the west state of Floden, there was a young man who was madly in love with the daughter of a rich businessman. Her name was Zuri, a beautiful girl with brains and ambition, who worked in her father's company as the head of marketing. The young man's name was Kofi. He was a hard-working driver who was ambitious to make something of himself. Now, Kofi and Zuri fell in love after they met at a popular joint in town. And when Kofi was sure that he was ready to settle down, he went to see Zuri's father to ask for her hand in marriage. But the rich businessman, who was also a chief in his village, had other plans. He said, "You want to marry my daughter? Very well. I accept that you are a good man. I have seen how hard you work to earn an honest living and how respectful you are to elders. But there is one problem." "What problem?" asked Kofi. "My daughter is of royal blood," said the chief, "and for her bride price I demand a rare white feather from the spirit bird that lives in the evil forest." Kofi had heard tales about the evil forest, a forbidden stretch of abandoned land in the city center where nobody dared to enter. Some said it was an old industrial zone that was shut down for mysterious reasons. Others said it was a cursed park where all the trees had strange powers. It was just an eerie place that everybody in the city avoided. But for love, Kofi was ready to brave the unknown. So after days of preparation, he entered the evil forest. There was a thick canopy of trees which made the place darker than it needed to be. At the center of the forest stood a giant baobab tree which served as a home for the spirit bird. On its branches sat an old woman weaving a basket. "Greetings, grandmother," said Kofi. "I am here to collect the bride price for King Zuri." The old woman looked up from her basket and said, "You are a brave young man. Most people who come here turn back after hearing the price, but you seem determined. Very well, I will tell you where to find the spirit bird." She gave Kofi some instructions and warned him, "If you don't have the money to pay the bride price, do not return empty-handed. The bird does not accept excuses." Kofi thanked the old woman and ventured further into the forest. After some minutes, he saw a big bird made of pure gold perched on another tree. This must be the spirit bird, thought Kofi. As he approached the tree, the spirit bird flapped its wings and flew away. Then, out of nowhere, a beautiful woman appeared. "Who dares disturb the spirit bird?" she asked angrily. When Kofi explained his mission, the woman burst out laughing. "You want to marry Princess Zuri? You are out of your mind. She will never marry a poor driver. Even if I give you the white feather, she will still reject you." "I don't care," said Kofi. "As long as she loves me, that's all that matters." Then the woman became serious. "Very well. If you are so determined, I will put you to a test. Go to the market and buy me these rare herbs." Kofi spent the whole day looking for the herbs. By the time he found them, it was already evening. Just then, some men emerged from the shadows and surrounded him. "Where are you coming from?" one of them asked suspiciously. "We have been watching you since morning." "I was just in the market," lied Kofi. "I didn't want to go to the market again, so I decided to take a shortcut through this uncompleted building, when suddenly the ground beneath our feet started shaking violently. Everybody started screaming and running in all directions. What is happening? Is the earth opening up?" But Kofi stayed calm. He knew that the angry gods were trying to test him one last time. And when the dust finally settled, he found himself alone in the middle of a huge hole. Taking a deep breath, he picked up the white feather that was glowing brightly and flew away. When the woman saw the feather, she disappeared, leaving behind a message written in golden ink. Kofi returned to the city and gave the feather to the old woman, who was actually a witch doctor. She told him that the angry gods were pleased with his honesty and hard work, and as a reward she would help him win Zuri's heart. So with her help, Kofi confronted Zuri's father and told him that he no longer wanted his daughter's hand in marriage because he realized that she deserved a man who was worthy of her status. But when Zuri heard this, she was deeply disappointed because she loved Kofi for who he was, not for what he could bring to her family. She confronted her father and told him that she wanted to marry a man of her choice. So in the end, the chief had to accept Kofi because he saw how much his daughter loved him. They had a simple but beautiful wedding ceremony, and after the reception, the chief called Kofi aside and gave him a huge sum of money to start a new life. "I was wrong about you, son," he said. "You may not have the riches or title, but you have something more valuable: integrity and courage. As for your bride price, consider this gift as a token of our family's appreciation for your honesty." Kofi and Zuri were grateful for the gift, but they knew that their love story wasn't just about money or status. It was about two hearts that dared to choose each other despite all the odds.